to choose the right size aquarium for your fish room. If this is your first time to my channel, consider subscribing. We do all kinds of things about fish.
What's going on, everyone? This is Paul, the Inventory King. Hope you guys are having an awesome day and enjoying your fish. So let's talk about how to choose the right size aquariums for your fish room. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and walk into the fish room and talk about it. Here in my fish room, I have 3 40-gallon breeders here, 3 40-gallon breeders here, 2 125s, and 2 125s. Now, if I could have gone with 55-gallon tanks here, I would have done it. But for my space that I had, this is what I went with. So first things first, when you are gonna go and turn a room into a fish room, go ahead and measure it. I know that sounds like duh, that's rhetorical. Of course we're gonna measure the room. But here's something that you need to pay attention to. We're gonna look at some of the tanks. Okay, so here's 40-gallon breeder. Now for this particular rack, I got from, pretty sure this was Depot. It is absolutely perfect for 40-gallon breeders. So in this case, I'm okay. Now when you're gonna be building your own custom stands, now this is a dual 125. You need a heavy duty stand to hold this thing. So I needed extra space here in order for the tank here to fit so that they are lined up. You may think, okay, I'm gonna put a 6-foot tank and I'm gonna put this here and I got plenty of room. You need to know to account for stuff like this extra space on this side, and you also got the extra space on this side. Definitely a big thing to consider when you're picking your tanks. So definitely make sure that you're planning everything. The tanks that you want. How big are they? How big are the stands? These are things that you need to look at. Here's another thing. So when I measured out my room here, here's my door to go outside. You can see I'm lined up pretty much perfect. So you're gonna go all the way across here. And here we are on this side. You can see how much room I have. Not much, right? Just enough to squeeze on both sides. And I wanted just enough room here for the filter. So you can see for my setup, this is all I can go with. Now, you're talking about building a fish room. You need to know, what do you want in your fish room? Do you just want a room full of fish? Do you want to breed fish? You need to know this so you pick the appropriate size tank. So let's go ahead and start with 125s, like down here. If you want to breed haps, big Haplochroma species, predators, some predators are too big for tanks like this. You need something even bigger. Okay, why did I choose 125s for my breeding groups? Because I'm breeding haps. And again, haps are big fish. You need the space. So that's why I chose 125s. Plus I got them off of Craigslist and OfferUp for a killer deal. So that's why I chose the 6-foot tanks. Now, as far as the 40 breeders are concerned, again, with my space constraint, that's why I chose them. When you're gonna be breeding, like these Madoka white lips here, okay, I only got 5 fish in here. They'll be fine in this tank. Now for growing out fish, you can see that these Madoka white lip fry are doing just fine in this 40-gallon. They've been growing out in here since they were small. So 40-gallon breeders are gonna be okay to get them to a point to where you're gonna either sell them or you need to move them to a bigger aquarium to continue to grow out. So that's gonna be up to you, your space and what you want to do. And again, for me, that's why I chose it, so I can breed big haps. Worst case scenario, if I go smaller fish, I could put dividers in these tanks and have 2 groups per tank. Obviously, I would run out of space real fast with these racks would be just packed with fry. You can see here, I got F1 Buco Notos in here.
And again, they're doing just fine in this 40-gallon tank. So that's why I chose these ones. Now, if you're gonna breed peacocks, you can do them in a 55-gallon, no problem. You can do them in a 75-gallon, no problem. You might get away in a 40-gallon tank. Actually, no, you can do them in a 40 breeder as long as they're not massive and you don't have a whole bunch of them. So let's say you're gonna be breeding fish like Mbuna. Now, Mbuna, you're not gonna need some massive tank for Mbuna because Mbuna require a lot of rock. You don't want to have to find a holding female in a 6-foot tank with rocks if you're keeping Mbuna. So in Mbuna, 55-gallon, that's kind of big, 40-gallon, you know, you can get away with that with Mbuna. So the biggest thing is, what do you want to breed? What do you want to keep? How big is your room? These are the keys to starting your fish room. When it comes to the, you know, why I didn't go any smaller than the 40-gallon breeders, because, you know, bigger's better when you want to grow out fish. So if you can do 40 is great. If you can do 55 is great. But I wouldn't go smaller just because of my spacing. I didn't want to, you know, have 10-gallon tanks and then run out of space because I got too many tanks running. My thought process of the fish room was, again, I want to breed, I want to have as many tanks as I can with the space I have. Also, I wanted to make it easy for myself. So when I am busy and I need to do a water change, I don't have to hook up a Python and take forever to do the water change. Because let's face it, when you're doing water changes with a Python, it does the job, but it takes a long time. So that was an inspiration as to how I designed my system. And we're gonna go ahead and look at that now. So down in here, I have a pool pump, and this pool pump is hooked up to remove water from the tanks. And I'll show you here. Each tank has a valve that goes from the inside out. You can see these ones here, and you can see that it follows along here and it goes way in the corner over there to the pump. Now, I did the same thing on this other side. Now, if I want to shut this left side off, I can right here with the ball valve. So again, the same thing here. We got, you can see there, you can see there. And when we come around on this side, you can see the same thing. I got drains in each one. Again, the point was to make it fast. All I need to do is come over here, flip this, and it's gonna drain really fast because the pool pump is gonna pull a lot of water out. Now, filling. I don't wanna sit there and bring hoses everywhere. So that is what this line is for, this bottom line. This is my water supply line that I brought in here that goes to each tank. So let's go ahead and walk back over here and take a look. So you can see here, here's my supply line, comes here, and I have one going to each tank to fill up. Same with that one over there. And of course, the same goes for this side. It does a great job of filling up the tanks. The only issue is you gotta watch it like anything else so it doesn't overflow. So it does a really great job. Now, as far as air, I went central air. I installed all of this so that I can have air anywhere I want in this fish room. If you're gonna start a fish room, get a central air pump. It is absolutely worth it. Get a central air pump. Now, I wanna talk regrets. There are a few things I wish I would have done differently. Number one, as much as I love this water change system, and I won't change it, I wish that I would have had a way for water to stay at a certain level with drip coming in. So I always got water changing out. Now, if you check out the Cyclochad James Largo, something like his system to where the tanks are gonna always have fresh water dripping into them and they're never gonna overflow because the water is gonna only go to a certain point. Then when I want to go and do my major water changes, I use this. So that would be one thing, is I regret that I didn't do something like that to where I have a constant drip in each tank. So there's always fresh water going into each tank every day. That's one of my major regrets. Other than that, I have been extremely happy with the fish room. It is an amazing thing to own a fish room, and I hope that this video is something that gives you guys an idea of how you should go about designing it. Again, the design is going to be all about how you want it, but the biggest things that I would say again is make sure you measure the stands, because they're typically longer than the tanks, so that you measure properly when it comes to setting up your fish room. And just have fun doing it. Have fun doing it. Have excitement and just enjoy every step of it. It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding. There is nothing like coming into a fish room. So that is how I planned my fish room. Thank you for watching this video, everybody. Again, I hope it was helpful in giving you some ideas of how to plan your fish room. Again, everyone's gonna do it how they want it, and that's the beauty of having your own fish room. But just to give a couple of tips on ways to think about planning it. So again, I hope this was helpful. If you could like this video, awesome. If you could share this video, awesome. Please hit the subscribe button and stay tanked. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe here and click on the bell notification. Also, check out some of my other videos over here. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I truly appreciate it. Thanks again, and stay tanked.